Good morning, glitter babes. Today I'll be making a vanity out of Walmart drawers, and I'll be using a total of 2 of these to complete my project. I took the 3 drawers out, and I'm going to be taking this shelf outside and spray painting it silver. And I got these pieces of yucca board from Home Depot, and I'll be using these for the drawers. And here are 3 pieces of foam that I pre-cut, and I am going to be marking the other 2 as I did the 3rd. And a cool tip to make sure all your markings are the same is to take 1 piece of foam and make holes in it and then put it on top of another and make the markings from there. So after I made the markings, I took a pair of scissors and I just cut holes where the dots are. Next, I'll be taking my foam and placing it on top of my yucca board. And today I'm just using fabric. I'm not using any type of batting, but if you prefer to use batting, you definitely can. Don't let me stop you. By the way, the board that I'm using is a yucca board, and the reason why I'm using this board is because it bends. And if you're gonna do this project, I definitely recommend that you use this board. After I'm done tufting the front, I'm gonna cut off the excess fabric and staple it down. And I'm going to do this a total of 5 more times because I have 2 bends to do. But I will only be showing you how I did the first storage, and then obviously you would do it 1 more time. By the way, thank you to everyone who was concerned in my last video. I guess my voiceover was terrible. I kind of figured it was, but let me just say I was in Vegas, and yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But yeah, that's why my voice was terrible, and I apologize. But thank y'all for looking out for me. I'm totally fine. I'm back home safe, and I'm recording this video right now, so everything's great. Next, I'm turning my board around and I'm going to be drilling a hole where that staple is in the middle. So you'll have to turn your board around to make sure that you're drilling where your hole should be, but it should be in the center. And I'm drilling these holes so my knob can fit in. Next, I'll be drilling in a long nail through the hole that I just pre-drilled, and I'll be doing that to all 3. Next, I will be attaching this mirror reflective paper to the sides of the containers. And I'm doing this because some of the plastic was still exposed when I attached the tufted pieces. Now I'm going to remove that nail that I screwed in earlier. Next, I'm going to start adding on my tufted boards, and the first thing I'm going to do is make sure it's centered, and I'm going to re-screw in that nail that I just took out the back, and I'm doing that to make a hole through the bend. And again, this hole will be for the knob that I'm screwing in. And now I'm just going to open the hole just a little bit more, and then I'm going to start adding on my knobs. I got these knobs from Amazon, and I'll leave the link in the description box below. I put the screw in the back, and then I'm attaching the piece of wood, and then I'm going to be screwing in the knob on top. I did take my drill and screw in the screw just a little bit more, but make sure you don't do it too tight. Now I'll be adding in my screws, and I'm going to screw everywhere the staples are. So it should be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 screws. And this is how all 3 looked. Next, I'll be attaching the silver string And I'm just going to create a pattern around the knob. And when I did this, I made sure the string slid underneath the knob so it wasn't sitting on top. So you may have to loosen the knob a little bit while you're doing this part. Next, I'm using these rhinestones to cover the nails, and I'll be gluing them on top. By the way, please be careful with this hot glue if that's what you choose to use, because it is super hot. Like, don't let this video fool you. Like, I got burned a couple times. Next, these will be the 2 panels for the side of the container, and I'll leave the measurements in the description box below. So I'm going to use my stapler and I'm going to tuft where the holes are. Now I'm stapling the fabric to the back. After I completed this one, I did the second one, and then I brought in the shelf that I spray painted outside, and I'm going to be attaching the side panels to each side. I'm going to be using screws to attach the panels, and I'm just going to be going around the perimeter screwing them in, just because that's where the frame is. And after I'm done with this side, I'm going to take the other tufted panel and I'm going to screw it in on the other side. Next, I'm taking my hot glue gun and I'm going to start adding the string. And like I said, be careful because it is hot. So what I like to do is put like a certain amount of drops in at a time and let it cool down. And then I come back in with my string. Another option that is probably quicker is to take a stapler and just staple the strings in. I actually would have preferred to do it that way, but I was running out of staples and I was running out of time. The next thing I'm going to do is add my rhinestones where the tufts are. And here's me putting the drawer together. I completed the other side and here are the 3 drawers. And here are both sets after they were completed, and I'm going to attach these together now. And here's how the front looks. And I'm going to cover that exposed board up with another piece of fabric. And then I added a board on top. I did add these IKEA legs to the bottom. I would prefer putting a piece of plywood on the bottom that fits appropriately first and then attaching the legs. But like I said, I might go ahead and do that later on. But this was a last minute thing and I really wanted to show you all how it looked with legs. Next, I got this frame mirror from Walmart and I'm going to be using this for the top. So I'm going to be spray painting it silver. And now I am attaching 2 pieces of wood to the back so that the mirror could sit up on its own. And this is how it looked when I attached the mirror to the containers. I got these lights from Amazon. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below, but I'm going to be attaching these to the mirror. They do have extra wire from them, so I'm just going to let the wire hang from now and put the lights where I want them to be. And then I'm going to take the excess wire and attach it to the back of the mirror using tape until I find some other way to attach it because I wasn't expecting it to be that long. The last thing I did was add my mirror on top, and this is the final look. I did add a piece of bling wrap to hide the imperfections on the bottom, but this is the final look, and I hope you all enjoyed this video as I enjoyed making it. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later, glitter babes.